Hello, and welcome to this session on Command Design Pattern. This video is part of a 20 hours Udemy course where we cover hundreds of real-world design pattern scenarios. The Command Design Pattern is a behavioral design pattern that provides a way to encapsulate a request as an object, thereby allowing users to parameterize clients with different requests, queue or log requests, and support undoable operations. It decouples the sender of a request from the object that performs the action, providing flexibility and extensibility in designing and managing requests. The main idea behind the command pattern is to represent a request as an object, which allows for greater flexibility and extensibility in handling actions and interaction in a system. It promotes loose coupling between the sender and receiver of a request by eliminating direct dependencies and allowing them to vary independently. The command pattern allows the coupling of objects involved in a request, making the system more flexible and scalable. It enables the construction of complex systems based on small reusable command objects and supports operations such as undo and redo by keeping an history of executed commands. Additionally, the pattern facilitates the implementation of features like logging, queuing, and scheduling of commands. Hello and welcome back. Let's take a real-world code example of command design pattern, and we'll be implementing a remote control application in this example. We will start with the receiver, which is a TV class that has a turn on method and also a turn off method. And now let's have the command that implements the TV receiver, the TV, and we'll start with the interface implementation, and that will be class command. And the class command will have an init method that takes in a TV, and then it's also going to have the execute method that runs the TV operation. And here I'm going to make it an abstract class, which is the right way to go. So I'm going to turn this to ABC and make an abstract method also. Let me also demarcate the code. I have the receivers here, and then I'm going to have all the command here. The first command I'm going to have is the turn on command that implements the interface command and its method execute. And the execute will run the TV turn on method. When we execute a command, it's going to be executing the turn on method of the receiver. And we'll do the same thing also for a turn off class, which is a subclass of the command interface, and then also run the execute method, which calls the turn off method of the TV. Now we're going to have the invoker. The invoker is going to be a remote control class, which initializes a command attribute, and then the command is set using the set command method. So here we'll set the command. So basically the remote control takes in a command. If you press any of these command, the set command will set that command on the remote control. And the last method I'm going to have here is the press button method. And the method will check if there is a command that is already existing, that is, a command is set. And if a command is set, then it's going to execute that command. So let's run the client now. I'm going to put a divider there, and then the client code. The first thing is we're going to instantiate the TV, and then I'm going to instantiate the turn on command and pass in the TV that I just created. And I'm going to do the same thing for the turn off command. I'm instantiating the TV, and now I'm creating the command turn on and turn off command. And after that, I will instantiate the remote control, and I'm going to set the remote control using the set command to set the command that I just created. So I have set command, and I'm putting in the turn on command, and press the remote button here so that I can see what happens. Now let's run through the code one more time. I have a receiver. The receiver is the implementation, the TV itself. And then I pass that TV into a command. I create different commands. The first command I'm creating is turn on command. And then the second command I'm creating is to turn off the TV command. And after creating that, I create the remote control, which is the invoker. And the invoker has a set command to set each of the command, and then a press command to execute whatever the command does. So here I created the TV, and then I instantiated also the two commands and passed in a TV, and then created a remote control, and then use the set command to set the command onto the remote control. That is more like pressing the command on the remote control. Then I implement the press button for it to execute the command that I passed in. Now let's look at what happens here, because I'm executing the command from the remote control. You can see it says TV is turned on. If I change this, maybe on the next line, I turn it to the turn off command, and I execute it again, it's going to say TV is turned on. So every time I set the command and I press the button, it's going to either turn on the TV or turn off the TV. Again, note the functionalities that you have to implement. First is the receiver, which is the real code. Then the command, which issues the command for the code, the implementation. And then the remote control, which is the invoker, which invokes whatever command you have issued. So, and then of course the client code that shows you the command, and the invoker, which is the remote control in this case. This video is part of a 20 hours Udemy course where we cover hundreds of real-world design pattern scenarios. The course is called Design Pattern in Python with Real-World Code Examples. We showed via practical coding how design pattern is implemented in real-world scenarios like event manager, cache, database connection codes, document management code, creating optimized configuration settings, login frameworks, GUI framework codes, plugin systems, game development codes, payment gateway, document generators, computer graphics generation codes, financial model code pattern, resource pooling, object pooling in ORMs, website creation, database query codes, language translator, web application framework creation, banking system codes, organizational chart creation, file system, interpreter, menu system, text formatting code, authentication code, authorization code, API for OS, document management system, create proxies, event handling, middleware in web development, workflow system, undo redo functionality in apps, job scheduler scenarios, parsers, chart applications, drawing applications, notification system, distributed system, booking system, workflow management system, sorting algorithm, file compression utility, and many more. If you are really serious about your career in programming, you have to get this video, and you don't have to be a Python programmer to use it. Use the link in the description to get the best price for this course on the Udemy platform.